Hey, so in the previous video I talked about input webhooks to send data into Paradigm, and today I'm going to talk about output webhooks to push data out of Paradigm into a third-party platform. So to start off with setting up an output webhook, you want to click these three dots next to the sheet name and connect webhook. When you click the new webhook button, you can name it. So in this example, I have a sheet that is a vendor analysis. So let's say I'm Microsoft, I went on a call with Paradigm, and I'm evaluating using Paradigm. I'm going to add the call notes to this sheet over time. So I will call it vendor analysis. And it's going to ask for an endpoint URL. So in this case, I want to send this data to Salesforce after it's enriched. So what I'm going to do is go and get an endpoint URL from Salesforce. So Salesforce specifically, we can use Zapier, which is a third-party connector, to get a webhook that can connect to Salesforce. So you won't always have to use Zapier or a third-party provider. Sometimes you can start just directly get the output webhook from that tool. But in this case, I wanted to show Zapier because it's a universal connector, so you can use these output webhooks to connect to anything that Zapier or a similar automation tool can connect to. So here I have the setup. It's Webhooks by Zapier, and it is a catch hook. That is the type of event. There's also some other types of hooks that you can pick, and there's no configuration at all, just a base catch hook. And here we go. It's going to generate a webhook URL. So we can copy this and paste it into Paradigm. So this is the endpoint URL that Paradigm is looking for. And that's pretty much all of the configuration we need. Everything else is fine with the default. We have the column mappings, just all of the default column mappings, and I will click Save Changes. If for any reason you want to include or exclude certain columns, you're welcome to add or delete mappings, and also add more header types to the request. So back in Zapier, it's going to catch the hook, and then it's going to create a record in Salesforce. And you'll see that the record in Salesforce is going to match up to the data we have here. We want to find company name, company website, status, and primary use case. So I'm going to go ahead and enrich this data. And before that enrichment continues, I'm going to show that I have no current leads in my Salesforce instance. This is a brand new Salesforce instance, but I want this data to enter into Salesforce right after the enrichment is done. So we'll check back here after our Zapier workflow runs and see if the data is added as a record and the record is created in Salesforce. So here we go, the enrichment is finishing up. As always, we can double click and check on the steps and the metadata associated with that enrichment. And what I'm going to do here is find new records. Awesome. So it looks like there's a new record that was pulled today. And we can publish. So now that this is published, I'm going to run the enrichment. And this time when the enrichment finishes, it should trigger the entire flow. So catch hook and then create record. Awesome, here we go. Now that the enrichment is complete, we can see that a record has been created. Nice, and you can see the record here and see that it actually has all of the context from the entire enrichment, such as the meeting description and also the enriched information, like website, for instance. So you can use output webhooks to automate sending enriched data out of Paradigm. Thank you.